Okay, there you go. It should work. We got like 7 viewers, and then it's super laggy. But you know what? We're gonna go through it. We're gonna pull through it, and we'll go from there.
We'll get through.
We'll get through. Yeah, we'll definitely get through. It's just I am not. I don't know anything about technology. I'm terrible at
And
it.
I am useless as far as this stuff
Terrible.
goes.
I spent 2 hours trying to figure out what Streamlab is. So I just, I'm terrible at this. So I think it's working. We're gonna pull through. So, um, it's on my YouTube. It says like I'm live like 3 times. I don't even know which one I'm supposed to click on.
Maybe that's part of it, is that you're live on so many different.
Exactly. They're like, which one is this girl live on? It's like it's so. I think this is it. Okay, I think this is it, but it's still super laggy. Oh well.
Hold on. Hey, here. You watch it over here? I don't know if that's going to be too loud. For some reason, my tablet, the
Uh
volume
huh.
on it is like
Uh huh.
jammed, so it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. So hopefully that's not going to be too loud.
Well, hello. Hey, Master Blaster.
Well,
Hey,
not, well,
Liam.
if you want
We tried. This is. It's probably gonna lag you guys. You're glitching. I know. I don't know. I don't even know how to fix it. The best YouTuber. Thank you. Yeah, obviously we're definitely lagging here.
hold on, let's just turn this off. There we go. If you're gonna sit in my lap, then we might as well just sit in my lap.
I just asked if anyone knows how to fix the lag because I definitely don't. I try. Oh, and I got it all switched up. You're like under. I'm under. You're under PokeGal. I'm under the cat's meow. I'm so terrible
Oh
at this.
no. Oh,
I
I see it now. Yeah.
There you go. I fixed it. Does anyone know how to fix the lag? No, but that's okay. Last live did was perfect. I don't understand how it changed. I don't either. I think it's because we're trying to use Zoom and I don't think it worked. But that's okay. That's okay. But hey, we got 6 people watching. We're gonna lag a little bit, you guys. We're gonna pull through. I'm thinking it's about a 30-minute stream. And then we'll go from there. And so we're gonna try. So hey, we got a first question. Hey Kat, do you wanna perhaps just introduce yourself? It is a new stream, so you wanna introduce yourself and that special guest that you have?
Sure. So I am the cat's meow, Catherine. This is my daughter Alice, who is almost 2. I am a collector going on about 20 years now. I started in middle school, took a break around late high school, I think early college, and got back into it late college, and pretty much collected right up until sometime in 2020. I was still going.
Yeah, she's been collecting for 20 years. So I met you through YouTube, right? When you were making your videos, and I was like, hey, you want to sell some of your cards? And you're like, sure. That's how I've known you for like 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I can't remember if we did some trades too, but yeah,
Yeah,
we've
a
we've
lot.
definitely been going back and forth a lot over the years.
Yeah, so Dylan, she's been collecting for 20 years. So yeah. Hopefully, is the lag a little bit better? Hopefully. I think I'm looking at us and we're moving a little bit better. So, hey, Tara. Hey, Dylan. Hey, so let's get this going. Okay, we got another question. Which artwork is your personal most liked? Which artwork is your least appealing for you?
The most I think is probably the Blaine's Charizard. And I think it's got some nostalgia there for me too. That was one that I remember pulling as a kid. but I just remember how awesome that card looked. Um, I Blastoise is my favorite Pokemon, and I really like the reprint of the Deluge Blastoise. I believe that was Plasma Blast. I don't know if I have a least favorite card, but probably some of those the Pokemon cards in the like Neo series, and I think a little earlier on or later on that did that they were sculpted out of clay. Some of those look kind of cool, and some of those it was like I don't know about that, but I don't know. I try to find something to like about just about every Pokemon card, so um, I don't know if there is one at the very bottom of the list.
Cool. Hey, what's up, CJ? Tara, Liam. Hey, you guys. And Liam says vintage card or modern cards. I'm assuming he's asking which one do you prefer. Well,
Definitely vintage.
oh yeah,
Modern cards, there's so many ultra rares and secret rares, and it's just a little overwhelming right now. Where you're trying to collect those newer sets, and they're just ginormous. Whereas the vintage stuff, I think it was a little more simplistic. And when you had something like, well, even the ultra rares in the EX days, you didn't have a whole lot. So it really meant something when you could pull any kind of ultra rare. And if you could pull a star or something like a secret rare, that was just even cooler. So I think now they're all blinged out as far as modern stuff goes, and it's a little over the top. And I kind of like just going back to simpler times.
nice, very nice. And Tara wants to know Japanese set or English set. Actually, that's a really great question because I want to know because you collect both, but which one do you prefer?
So as far as card quality goes, definitely Japanese. They have just the card stock they're printed on is so much better. The um, the lack of errors is a lot better. But as far as what I mostly collect are definitely the English cards. Japanese has always come kind of, it's I don't collect the Japanese kind of set until I got the English set complete type of thing. Um, but I think that's just more because of the region. If English wasn't so readily available and all the promos, I probably would be. If I was in Japan, I don't know if I'd bother with the English stuff at all. I'd just be straight Japanese collector. That quality, they know what they're doing.
Nice, very nice. Oh, and Gerardo wants to know how does it feel to be Poke Rich? You are.
So yeah, the last few months has been it's been something new to get used to. I'm used to like minimum wage, maybe slightly more jobs, and so having a collection that I mean, my biggest hope was that maybe 15 years from now it would help pay for college or a house deposit, and now it could just mean so much more. So um, it feels amazing. It's a little overwhelming when it comes to doing taxes. That's what I'm kind of looking at this month is how to handle that. But the that extra security is just a good feeling, even when the things are just sitting on the shelves. Knowing you have something to fall back on is really nice.
CJ wants to know what are your thoughts on Pokemon partnering with Katy Perry?
I haven't heard a whole lot, but seeing how the celebrity influence last year really skyrocketed the market, I'm looking forward more to just seeing what that does for Pokemon. You know, we're coming up on the 25th anniversary too, and it seems like it's a kind of an odd pairing, but at the same time, I can see it fitting, and I'm more excited than anything negative about the pairing.
Nice, very nice. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Um, if you go back to the original stuff, I'd probably have to say Blastoise. Over the years, though, being the cat's meow,
Mm-hmm.
Meowth has definitely been pushing his way in. Um, there's just so many Pokemon in the top group. I'd probably have to choose between either Blastoise, Meowth, or Gengar. I've always been a fan of him too, and he's had some really interesting deck cards that were really fun to play with, and that kind of helps.
Very nice. Hey, Dime. And another question. Ever had the fear of missing out when into the hobby a long time ago?
There's been a little bit of regret as far as not getting more stuff as far as duplicates. When everything first took off, even as far as like the original base set went, um, there was definitely a little bit of nostalgic regret of when I was a kid, just not like focusing every allowance on scooping up every old card I could afford. Um, at least I can say that I guess I've been active in waves off and on throughout Pokemon's time. So I can't say I missed a whole lot, and I think I just kind of have to be grateful that I was active in it when I was. Compared to, I feel so bad for people that are trying to get into it 2020. Um, the prices right now, and even just trying to hit their nostalgia, even if they were into it a little bit as a kid. Oh, the expense for them right now. I feel for them.
I agree. Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. And Tara says, me, I loved Persian as a kid because I'm Persian. It's funny. So I got a couple of questions composed, and we'll start from there. Let's get this going. Okay. So, what have you been up to? Obviously, we see little cute Alice there that are playing, but what else have you been up to?
Um, so I've been really getting back into my Lego collection the last few months. I was on a family vacation in Pennsylvania and
Mhm.
scored this huge lot of like well over 50 pounds of girl Lego. Um, and then when we got back into town, I found another local lot of like another 40 pounds. And so I have just, that's a lot of what you might be able to see in the background are just Sterilite tubs full of it, trying to sort them out into their original sets. And that's probably the non Pokemon thing that's been taking what little free time I have. A lot of things are just done with her, and I'm getting her the Lego Duplo stuff. So trying to kind of foster that love early on, and that explorative, imaginative play. And but yeah, I've been just pondering over all these little pieces and figuring out what goes where, and so that's been pretty time consuming.
That's pretty. You have two very expensive hobby, Legos and Pokemon cards. That's very
Yeah.
expensive.
Thankfully, Lego seems to, it's been around for, I forget now, more 50 plus years,
Hmm.
so a lot longer than Pokemon, but seems to be the less expensive of the two hobbies,
That's true.
with the exception of probably some, huge Star Wars sets that are out of print and things like that. Um, and the compatibility of stuff too, where there's probably not a whole lot of individual pieces. Like I don't think you're gonna run into a single piece that's gonna cost you $100,000 like some Pokemon cards will.
That's very true. That's very true. And hey, Peter, and Dylan says, would you keep ETB sealed to sell in the future when they become rare to find? That's a great question.
If I was definitely collecting sealed stuff, a few of each I think would be a great idea. I mean, what I don't think the prices are really going to drop. So what do you have to lose? You've got the space to store it.
Stay after the questions. I want to show you guys some of my seal collection, so you guys can see in some of the back. And I'll be doing a couple of giveaways. So check that out. So stay. Your chances of winning are pretty high. There's a couple of only viewers, so I'm pretty excited for that. And let's see. First Pokemon TCG item owned. That's a yeah. What is that? First Pokemon item that you own.
Um, well, my very first card was a jungle Venonat that my dad found in the parking lot of a restaurant when we were taking some family friends out to dinner. And he picks this thing up, um, hands it to me, and was like, "Hey, this is cool. What's this?" And I knew from uh, a class Pokemon card, nothing else about it. And we took the thing home, and it sat on the table for months and just kept staring at me, until eventually I was like, I want some more of these. And ended up going and getting some theme decks, I think, in a booster pack. And that was it. But yeah, it all started with a jungle Venonat card. So that was the first Pokemon item. Um, I know I had a subscription to Nintendo Power back then, but I think it was after I got that card that Nintendo Power did the couple of issues where they included Pokemon cards in them. But that was one of the early items too. Was getting my Nintendo Power in the mail and was like, hey, that's Pokemon. That's what matches that card, and kind of looking into it a bit more.
Nice. Do you still have that card?
Not that exact card. So I remember I traded it to my a neighbor of my grandmother's,
Mm-hmm.
while visiting her in Pennsylvania. Um, Maybe 5 years or so after I got it. And to this day, I definitely regret that trade. But I remember, like, I mean, we found it in the parking lot, so it had a tear. It was dirty, um, and for some reason she wanted it for her collection, or sets or something, and so I was more than happy to trade it. Now looking back and seeing what it started, I'm like, oh, I want it back, and I want to frame it.
Let's see what other questions. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Awesome. I have a Roll Up promo card of the Meow. That's funny. I think I have Persian also as vintage. I have one Persian Hollow. That's about cool. Okay. Live. Yeah. Glitch. Do we have a glitch right now? We're lagging right now, aren't we? Oh well. Kind of start a little bit
Well, and
struggling.
that
PokeGal,
gold
I
you
made
have
it. B
used
Roy,
inside
thank
the
you.
food.
Stream is lagging a little bit. Oh my. Oh my. PokeGal, this is a question for you. Would you buy a booster box to not get it? Scam. I've gotten scammed twice. Where? Oh, Dylan, that's terrible. Oh my god. Private message me. I'll show you where I buy them. Uh, I have a couple of people that I buy it from. A couple of distributors. Hopefully the streams pick up because it's lagging. I'm so sorry about it, you guys. I don't know how to fix the lag. I just don't know. But the second question is, why did you stop making videos?
Complicated question. Lack of time and funds would probably be the special. The short answer. Um, it took a lot of time to make the video, edit the video, render it, and get it uploaded. At the time, I was in a relationship where I was sharing my computer, so I didn't have as much time to my computer as I needed, really, to keep up with consistent videos. And then just as the sets got bigger, it took more and more financial resources to try and keep up with completing the sets. And I just kind of kept falling further and further behind.
Very, very nice. So they're saying the stream's a little bit laggy. Um, I just basically just refresh everything, so I hope it fixes. I don't know well. I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad that we're doing this because the next stream I'm gonna figure out what's going on. At least I try to figure it out. But we're gonna continue to push forward. Um, Hopefully it just not too sure. And someone wanted to know, are you finished collecting Pokemon cards?
Am I? I think I am. I don't plan on buying anything new, at least for personal, um, like I'm talking to a friend of mine at work and considering buying his collection, but just essentially to resell, to kind of help him out. And I think as long as the market stays where it's at, and it's going to be a slow process. I'm in no rush. I'm just going to kind of keep going card by card and seeing what's worth grading versus what's worth just selling as is. And if the market crashes in a few months from now, then I'll probably stop selling. And maybe if the market really crashes, that would probably be a good time to get back into collecting and buying while the price is low. But if the market keeps up as it is, I think I'm just slowly selling off what I have and enjoying seeing other people's collections. I'm still part of so many Facebook groups.
Oh yeah, you are. You are. You definitely are. So let me see. Uh, we answered the next question, which is what got you into collecting Pokemon cards. Oh,
That's
this
better
is a
than that.
yeah. Next question is how do you feel about the recent Pokemon prices?
um, like the bubble that they're kind of
Yeah,
potentially talking
the
about.
bubble, quote unquote, the bubble. Yeah.
Um, so I hope that bubble doesn't pop. The things that like with Katy Perry and the 25th anniversary, I think are going to keep the market stable for at least a
Hmm.
while.
Hmm.
Um, Overall, I'm still though just shocked at the skyrocket. Uh, I think a lot of it is due to the pandemic, and I don't think we're going to be out of the pandemic for the next solid year. So I think we can expect to see the increased prices happen as long as people are still staying at home and just not able to spend their money on anything else.
Kat, are you still there? Oh, there you
Yeah.
are. Okay. Sorry, it was just like I'm making
Can
sure
you, can
because
you
it's
hear me?
lagging too much, and I we need to figure. I need to figure out what to do with this. If someone knows Streamlab, can you please message me, show me how to fix this, like later on? Because I'm so glad I'm doing this because I am definitely not a streamer.
It could be a
Um,
taste run.
and uh, someone asked, have the current market situation impact for your purchases slash fun? Are you still buying cards? Are you still collecting?
Um, Not really. I think the last thing I was buying was maybe last spring, early on. That probably would have been the set that maybe came out that January or so.
Mm-hmm.
And other than just talking to a friend of mine and maybe buying his stuff, but again, I'd be turning around pretty much immediately. He pretty much is like, I don't want to go through the hassle of selling it one by one, and I need the money for bills. And so he's got a couple friends that have been kind of giving him the runaround. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if you really need the help, come to me when you've given up on them. But I don't know if that even really counts. I'm kind of more just doing it to help out and not really planning on keeping anything.
Wow. Wow. So, what high end item did you regret missing out on? I'm kicking myself for missing out on a position on a Sky Rich and Neo Destiny boxes. Wow.
Yeah, I'm so and it's sold now, but I had a PSA 8 Charizard first edition Shadowless,
I
and at the
remember.
time I bought it for $100 from Troll and Toad. Oh, I don't know, 7 years ago,
Uh huh.
maybe even longer than that. And I really regret just at that time not buying more of them. And I'm just imagining had I bought 10 of them, uh, just the oh that yeah just the why didn't I buy more kind of regret.
That's yeah. I was about I think 4 years ago or 7 years ago I bought my first edition Team Rocket box for like $225. And I bought like four of them. They're sitting in my storage. And I bought my base set. They were going for like $300. And look at the prices now. The only box that I don't have is the Logan Paul box. Which is the first edition box, the Shadowless. That's the only one
Yeah,
that I don't have.
and
Yeah.
I vaguely remember as a kid trying to be able to find and afford a first edition
Mhm.
um, base set box, and I want to say the prices even back then were like 500 plus,
Yeah.
and and as a kid that was just impossible. Um, oh, you're fine. Right now that's just yeah. What was it, 150,000 that one sold for, and then I read
Yeah.
something about 300,000 for the other
Yeah.
one, and
Yeah. Absolutely. It's nuts now. Crazy. And I want someone wants to know, and I think that is a perfect question. We answered that already. It's, do you regret opening all your sealed booster boxes? I don't know if you guys watch her videos, but she opened every single set. I think what was the last set that you opened sealed?
um, well, I know that giant opening was, I think, through Dark Explorers.
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, I'm trying to remember what the last box I opened on YouTube was, because there were, I opened up a few boxes after that, but they were off camera. And that was just another part of the relationship I was in. He just wanted to really enjoy them off camera, and I couldn't afford to do both that and the videos. It was something in the Sun and Moon era, I believe, but I want to say it was early on. Um, Sometimes she likes to scream at the cats. Alice, if you would like to
Baby
scream at the
screaming.
cat, would you like to go chase the kitty? Go get Walter. Go get Walter. Um, as far as regretting opening all of that, no, not at all. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I know I'm never gonna get again. My regret though comes from not buying two of everything at that time.
Yeah.
Had I
Who
bought
would have known?
two, or maybe three, like open one, save one, and then wait until this craziness and sell one. I I think the regret there is just not just going to the bank and taking out a loan and buying one of each.
That's true. But who would have known? Honestly,
Exactly.
who would have known? Because when I was buying those booster boxes for like 200 or $100, they were sitting there. Nobody would want them. So
Right.
um nobody would want them, but who would have known? And I'm a seal collector, so
Well, and my dad used to collect baseball cards from, I think, like the 70s and 80s,
uh-huh.
and uh, the that market just crashed. He put so much money into it, thinking that, oh, by the time my kid's grown, it'll be able to pay for this and this and this, and the
Hmm.
market just tanked. And it might be worth what he put into it, but it definitely didn't grow. And so I could completely understand why I didn't go and buy two and three of everything, because, like you said, there was the possibility that they just could have been sitting there on the shelf, or locked away for years, no one caring or anything about them.
Oh, I did not know that the baseball market tanked. I did not know that. I don't collect sports card. I
And
did
I
not
think
know that.
there are some sets that were still worth a
Uh-huh.
little more, but a
Hmm.
lot of the stuff is he still has tons of stuff down in the basement that he's like, yeah, I don't know if it's even um, worth to look at right now.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of too, because I'm scared of the Pokemon, the prices in the market tanking, and I'm pretty
Right.
sure you know what I do for a living. That's what I am concerned about. So, um, but yeah, but there's a lot of people on YouTube that's saying Pokemon prices are gonna go up. Um, I mean, I disagree with that, but we'll go into the other question about the bubble. So they want to know, do you play the Pokemon trading card game? If so, how long?
So I'm trying to remember the exact years that I played, but I did play and judge for it was over 5 years. I want to say my last time judging might have been in 2017 or so, and I want to say I was competing maybe around 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that sounds right. Um, it was a little over 5 years that I played, and even when I was judging, I was still playing the occasional tournament. Um, but the last few years of my TCG career, strictly judging.
Nice. And back in 2000, Blowout Card had a case of Sky Ridge for 1800. Now it's 35 grand a box. Wow. Oh, that's 8 years ago. Are you gonna do a full,
Wow.
yeah, booster box? Yeah, we will. Okay. Why didn't you grade your cards? I think that's a really great question. You're grading your cards now, right?
Yeah, so right now I'm still in that process of going through each and every card, determining whether it's worth grading or selling raw.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little over 1,000 cards sent off to PSA right now, waiting in the very very long line. I'm the way things are looking. I don't know if I'm even going to get them back this year. Um, so 2022 might be looking really good as far as PSA stuff goes. Um, but I kind of regret not getting some of this stuff graded back years ago. But it was pretty much just the cost. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of those cards weren't
Mm-hmm.
worth more than like $3 to $5, and so it really didn't make a lot of sense to spend. And I don't know what PSA prices were back then, but um, now they're $10 a card. They just went up from like 9 as far as bulk rates went, and so I'm guessing even 5 years ago, it probably was still at least $5 to grade each card. Um, and I don't think they were adding that a lot of that value back into it. So I think that was my logic was I'd rather put the money
Mm-hmm.
into getting more cards for the collection rather than
Yeah.
grading what I have. The grading service is always going to be around.
Correct. That's exactly what I did too. I'm sure you see my folders, right? The Milo binder. I wouldn't say little, but I have like a lot of I have a
Yes,
lot of
there's
cards, and they're sitting there. They're getting graded now, but then I started to invest in other things like my website. But they're all eventually gonna get graded. I bought over like 300 collections throughout my collection, like throughout collecting, and I'm pretty sure, just like your collection, whenever I get my cards graded, there will be at least, I think, a mint condition. At least at least I'm hoping. So, um, I'm pretty excited. Are you gonna make a video when your grades come back?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've missed making a video of my first PSA submission as far as sending that out. But I've been making videos. I think I've got 5 out total, so I think I made videos of the other four, and or well, I've got one more pulled. I think I'm getting ready to send the fifth, and I've sent the or made videos of the other three. But yeah, when they come back, I'm definitely going to make videos of the PSA return. If nothing else, just YouTube is really serving as a record for my collecting hobby. And so even if there comes a day where there's not a single Pokemon card in the house, I can always go back to the channel and be like, man, look at what I had, and look at how fun that opening was and stuff like that.
That's very true. That's very true. Question for both of you, if that's allowed, of course. Favorite book? Hmm.
Oh, that's a
Huh.
hard one.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. I have
Well,
a lot of books on the
I
side
like a lot
here.
of fantasy stuff. I like a lot of horror stuff.
There you go. That's my favorite book. What's yours?
Um, I would have to say either it or The Stand by Stephen King. I
Oh,
kind of
that's a
go
great
back and
movie.
forth between the two.
Uh-huh.
Um, with The Stand, it just they're doing the mini series right now. I've got the unabridged audio book, um, and I've been re-listening to that one, and it's hard to decide between the two. But I love Stephen King, and I don't I haven't read a lot of his new stuff, but I read a lot of his older stuff. Um, I love all sorts of fantasy stuff. I wish I had more time to read. I do a lot more audiobooks these days while I'm working. Um, but like Pokemon cards, it's hard to choose a one favorite.
That's very true. That's very true. Hey, Brewers. Okay. Was the Diamond and Pearl era set printed like the less like the E series boxes? I've never ever seen them for sale. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know that question. Do you? I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know what really the printing runs were.
Hey,
I don't know where
Rudy.
you'd find that information.
I don't know. I really don't know. I know the Neo sets, the print run was less, but I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know, Peter. I don't know. And by the way, Peter, Jeff at J&J
I know
Comics.
Legendary and EX.
Cat, you're cutting out. Cat, hello.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hopefully so good.
we're gonna good. Okay. So are you selling your collection?
Yes, slowly but surely. The I have two cabinets that are full of binders,
Hmm.
and the shelves are starting to get a little smaller, but not by much. I thought I did a pretty good job in 2020 of selling a bunch of stuff, and it's only made a dent in what's on the shelves. I really haven't gotten to any of the none of the modern stuff. Um, I've gotten to a little bit of the Diamond and Pearl and EX series, but not a whole lot. So it's it's kind of sad seeing the shelves start to get a little scarce. But I know it's going to be a long process, and it kind of just it still depends on the market. If the market stays where it is, I'll just kind of keep going, and if it stops, then I'm going to hang on to whatever I have left on the shelves.
So that's a yes, you guys. She is selling. So you're gonna check out her eBay.
Yes.
She is selling her collection. So, and I've actually known that for quite a while because we're friends. So she is selling her collection and her cards. So once her cards come back from PSA, uh, I think you said you have 1,000 cards getting graded at PSA, right?
Which one?
You said you have a
Oh yeah,
thousand.
everything's getting
Yeah, she's grading her
yeah,
whole collection, you guys. So it's coming
yeah.
back.
If I see a card that's got any kind of damage on it that I think wouldn't get it an 8 or better,
Uh huh.
um, those are the ones I'm kind of selling straight off, and I'm trying to be kind of picky with it, knowing that PSA is probably going to be pretty picky too. Um, but a lot of the the diamond and pearl on cards, I opened all of those straight out of the booster pack. So um a lot of that is deciding what is worth to be graded. Like, it's probably not worth it to do some of the common and uncommons, especially from the modern era. um but yeah, I think there's going to be a lot that is worth it.
Austin wants to know again, what is your favorite Pokemon card? Oh, that's a good one. Uh, Pokemon card. I think you said Blaine's Charizard, but maybe I heard it wrong.
Yeah um yeah first edition Blaine's Charizard from Gym Challenge, I think, is definitely the top favorite. But there's been a few others that are in the running, like the Deluge Blastoise, and even I think it was a Stormfront Gengar. They kind of have a um, a special place as far as uh, TCG nostalgia. So yeah.
Gotcha. And CJ wants to know, non-Pokemon question, what is your favorite Marvel and or DC superhero or supervillain? Oh, that's a good one. Ooh.
I
Oh,
almost wore that shirt today.
I
I've got a
know.
Marvel shirt with
Uh-huh.
pretty much everything on it, and I almost wore it. Oh,
Oh, that's a good question. They're asking really great questions.
that is a really good question. That's another one of like, how do you choose?
I know. Uh,
Iron Man, I think.
I do too. I like Iron Man,
I
but I also like Superman because he
the
cares. He's very family oriented. That's what I really like about him. Um,
Yeah, I kind of like Captain America too. Thor's kind of got his
oh
um
yes, Thor's
nice
funny.
sense of humor that isn't just typical. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot that I don't like. Just like Pokemon.
That's a
I've
tough
really
question.
enjoyed
We'll gotta get back to
Aquaman.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very tough.
And then I'll start spreading out into more superhero universes like Batman and Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, just send me the invoice of the whole collection at the cat's meow. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. It's pricey, all right. It's a very, very pretty penny. Oh yeah, without a doubt. That's funny. That is so funny. Um, I got another question. Is selling Pokemon cards your secondary income?
Um, kind of yes and no. So Pokemon has always been a thing where I can do a few sales and rely on it as far as maybe covering a debt that was unexpected, like a car repair or something like that. But I've fortunately never had to rely on Pokemon for covering the standard bills. So it's more of like see, some people have a second job just to put in a fund for vacations and things like that. And so that's kind of what I consider Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
is like my vacation fund, where except for instead of using it for vacations, I tend on using it for home improvements and knocking out debt so I don't pay interest and a little more practical things, especially in a pandemic. We can't really go anywhere anyway. So, um, but yeah, so it's been something nice to always be able to fall back on in case something came up.
That's true. That's very true. And in just talking about flipping Pokemon cards that people are coming in and saying there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that I think make it seem like flipping Pokemon cards is easy. I don't think it's easy. I think it's lucrative, absolutely, but
No.
I don't think it's easy because I think there are a lot of people out there that are doing the same thing. And I think when you're in the Pokemon community for a while, I think people sell to people that they know. Like, you asked me first, hey, do you want this certain cards? And I'm like, sold. And I think when a lot of people, they just think they can go on eBay
Right.
and just get the card, but they don't consider the time that they're searching on eBay. Because I think I saw a YouTube video today where someone was saying, I spent 8 hours on eBay searching for Pokemon cards, but you got to consider, the time that you're searching for the cards and you have to go get it right back. Is it easy? I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure it's lucrative if
No.
you get a certain card that you want. But I think it's so saturated. I think people are doing it. Um, anyways, so both of you, Misty or Sabrina, Jessie or Cassidy.
What was that question?
Both
Misty, Sabrina.
Sabrina. Hey, Kat, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Yeah, so what was the question about Misty versus Sabrina?
Or Misty or Sabrina?
Oh, okay. While I prefer the well, I don't know. I think I'd have to go with Misty. Water Pokemon with Blastoise was always a favorite, and then just Misty from the anime. She had such a influential um, role that I don't know if Sabrina's episodes and whatever were cool, but they just don't hold a candle to it.
That's true. I really like Misty too. She was totally in love with Ash, and I kind of, I think I could relate to that, being in love with someone that doesn't know. I think I like it. I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, I'm blushing over that. But anyways, hey, Exterminator. um, Biggest regret in Pokemon cards. I think you semi answer that already. I think just not collecting. But what is your one biggest regret? Was it selling a card that you didn't want to? Was it selling that first card that you missed? What is the biggest regret?
Um, the biggest regret I think would have been kind of what we've already said is just not investing more when
Mm-hmm.
I was younger and putting more into it. As far as a recent regret, I sold my PSA Charizard. Um, I honestly don't want to know what it's going for now. Um, but like 2 months later, we had already really hit a peak or a spike that was unprecedented, and it was going for thousands. And I remember though, like 3 months later, it had doubled again. And
Oh
and had
wow.
I waited just a few months, I could have made thousands more. But at my position at the time, again, who would have guessed that
Yeah.
these things would have continued to just
Yeah.
skyrocket like they did?
Yeah.
Um, we thought, well, okay, we've got a big burst, and it's going to remain about this point, maybe get a little higher, but it's going to remain like this. And I don't think anyone could have estimated that the base set would have just uh, I felt like it had 3 or 4 roller coaster peaks. It like went up once and stayed, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, it's time for it to come back down. And instead, it
Mm-hmm.
just went up another hill,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like, okay, well now we're good. And then it went up another hill. And it was like, okay, well wait, what is going on?
That's true. That is very true. That is true. I I I actually I do have a similar story. I think when I was this was about I think 7 or 6 years ago, and they said, or is it 8 years ago? I met a friend, or I know someone who had like 6 sealed base booster boxes, and he was like, "Do you want them?" I They were like for 250. I bought two. I should have bought all 6 of them, but anyways, I would have known
Yeah.
if I did not. I did. I totally regret that. And he was like, "I'm having a hard time selling these for 250. 250 for hearts 8 years or 6 years ago, base booster box seal, Wizard of the Coast." He was like, "I'm having a hard time for 250. Do you know anyone that wants them?" I said, and I felt bad. I was like, "Okay, I'll just take two if I totally known." And I
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm pretty sure when you bought your boxes, I think they were way cheaper. Probably your
Oh,
base.
yeah. For that 10,000, I'm trying to remember, because I didn't have a base set box, but I
Uh-huh.
did 36 loose packs.
Yeah.
And I might still have the record somewhere of what I spent on just that set. But it was nothing compared to what they are now. I mean, I was so frugal back then.
Mm-hmm.
Spending more than a few dollars a pack was just not an option. So like I spent a lot on that whole opening, overall. But when it came like to sets,
Mm-hmm.
I think the most was maybe like something around 500 for the first edition Genesis box, and maybe even been 300. Um, it was a lot to me back then, but it's nothing compared to what they are now, and I'm just,
Correct.
oh yeah, it's crazy.
Correct. Correct. How many of the 2,700 packs do you have left? It's probably zero.
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 Open them all.
She's opened them all. Oh my god, I could totally recreate with the Matsman with the baby. So what is this? Do
Yeah.
you have enough?
And that was kind of the thought, years and years ago before he was around, was oh yeah, we'll be doing openings with kids, and um yeah, I try not to even have the cards out. They're in locked cabinets, and they do, when she's awake, they are locked away. And it's, yeah, back then it was like, okay, well, if they bent a valuable card, it was probably a $20 card. You could get it replaced. And now it's,
Yeah,
no, if they get a hold of valuable card, it might
yeah,
be a $2,000 card, and it's like, no, no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. So when I did all this trading with you back then, we used to have a local card shop here. It closed down sadly, but I could, you know how you always have this trade list on your website,
Oh
and
yeah.
I can go there, and I will pick you like the perfect minty cards because I know you like them. You like the cards minty, and I would buy them for like $2, $3, and I would send them to you. And now all those cards that I sent to you, they went up, which is from Roaring
Yeah.
Skies, and I think I sent you a Rockets Mewtwo as well. But back then, when you buy those cards on eBay, they were like $8. It's super inexpensive, but that was back then. Okay. Do you have enough room for the storage, or do you have a second bathroom like Rudy for Alpha Investment where Pokemon took the? Yeah, where do you store the Pokemon cards?
So I've got two. I think they're actually meant to be pantries,
Okay.
like cabinet pantries,
Hmm.
and so they've got doors on them and everything. But I've got two of those, and I think they're like 5 shelves each or something like that. So that's where they're all stored now, all in their appropriate binders. There was a point though when I bought a pallet of Magnazone promo boxes, poster packs. Um, that I had poster packs everywhere you could stuff a poster pack. I did have in the spare bathroom upstairs, if you open the closet door, every shelf, floor to ceiling, was full of poster packs. Um, so that was a fun time. But I really like having the space back. It's nice to have bathroom stuff in your bathroom again.
That's true. That's true. Rudy's lying. Dude probably has a warehouse full of Rudy. Well, for Vince's thing, it goes up in price. That's true too. Did you open up sets
Yeah,
like Skyridge back in the day when the prices were low? You did. You did open up Skyridge. You did.
yeah.
I
I think I
remember.
remember. I know I did. Yeah, I know there was a Skyridge box. I'm trying to remember if there was a Quapolis box or if
Uh-huh.
that was just 36 loose packs.
Yeah.
Um, I
No, you
feel
opened
like
up a Skyridge.
Legendary.
You did. You did. You pulled the Charizard, and you sent that video. You're like, "Oh man, I already got this Charizard already." I
Isn't
remember
that crazy?
you. Yes, that's the video. You pulled it, and you're like, "I got this Charizard already."
And now it's like, man, mint pack fresh
Yeah,
Charizard.
yeah, you did. And then you're like, "I wanted a Celebi." Well,
Yeah,
you got the Charizard now.
yeah, and I'm pretty
Tony.
sure that's the cards sitting at PSA right now.
Yeah, it
Big
is.
much off.
Ar- Ariana, how many packs do you have left? I'll let you guys after everything. Going to do a little bit of a room tour on my end. You guys can see what I have here. Anyways, but we're gonna focus on all these questions. Did you ever run into interesting situation as a judge? Any fights, disputes, or tricky rules? That's a great question.
That is a good question. So, not too many really difficult rulings. Because if you got into something really tricky, you'd pull another judge in or the head judge, and there were usually enough people to help you out to figure it out. Um, the interesting one that I remember was well, there were a couple. There was a poor kid that cried. He was in the junior division, and he did something where he literally he shuffled his deck. And we couldn't go back and restore the game state. And I felt so bad for this little kid. And I think I even pulled another judge over, and I'm like, the kid is like 6 or 7 years old. Is there nothing we can do to do anything other than a game loss? And unfortunately we couldn't. And he was such a trooper. Tears were running down his face, but he understood that he messed up, and that was the only thing that we could do. The interesting one that kind of it kind of made me question whether I really wanted to continue judging. There was one, and it was in the Masters division. It was in the lower table. So the the reason why it was kind of ruled as it was because they didn't think this match really mattered. But this guy essentially did the same thing where his opponent said he shuffled his hand back into his deck thinking that a certain card was being played. He claimed that he had just put the cards on the top of the deck, and he calls us over and they're kind of debating it back and forth, and he was like, I can recite the cards that I had, look. And he grabs the top 4 or 5 cards off of the deck, shows them to me, and says, look, they were these. And I'm like, that doesn't mean you just grabbed your, no, that's not how this works. I was like, you've really now like made it so where we can't go back to what we think it was. And so I tried to issue the game loss, which was the only thing we could do, because it was literally the same thing that junior kid did. It was at a different tournament, but it was the same exact thing. And he said, well, I want to appeal. I said, that's fine. And we called over the head judge, and the head judge pretty much said, these guys are at the lower tables. Neither of them are gonna be making finals. Essentially, we'll just I forget what he did to rewind it. I think he just let him take those top 5 cards off of the deck and keep going. And I'm like, that's not right. These because the way TCG works was that your record depended on your opponent's record, especially if it came down to a tie. And so I'm like, these players' records matter for those people that are fighting the top spots, trying to get into the top 32. That's not how this works. And the girl, I think it was a girl that was on. It was a guy that had just grabbed his deck, and it was the girl that was playing him. And I felt like she just got cheated. And I don't think it really had anything to do with her being a girl, but that always made me wonder too. And I'm like, if this had been a guy on the other side of the table, would you have let this guy get away with it like that? And yeah, so that was really one of the questionable times I had, and that was at a regional level. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to continue judging if this is how things are going to be. And yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry that happened to you. I don't even know how to play the Pokemon TCG. I don't
It's
even know
really
how to play.
fun.
I don't even know how to play.
Games.
I've been collecting for 22 years, guys, and I have never learned. I know that's shocking, right? I've never learned. Never learned.
You should just go on to the online PTCGO and just play one of their free theme decks. Even that's some fun.
Yeah, they said I should learn. They said it's easy. But you know what's kind of funny, that I started to learn how to play DBZ, the Dragon Ball game, and that's complicated. That's a little bit complicated. And then the person that was teaching me how to play the Dragon Ball game, he was like, can't believe you don't know how to play Pokemon. This is more complicated. I said, really? Well, but one day I'll learn. Do you think we'll get an Evolutions 2 this year? He's probably talking about PokeDirect, that website that is a suspect website. What do you think, Kat?
I think it makes sense for the 25th anniversary, especially when they've seen the prices of these original cards go up by so much. It would be a smart move for Pokemon to say, these are the big money cards. We've seen how Evolutions has skyrocketed in price too, not quite to the same level, but cards that were worth $1. I think a friend of mine was selling off some of his rares and hollows, and they were going for like $20 at one point, and he's like, yeah, I don't understand it. And I'm like, it's because of the artwork. They've reprinted that original artwork, and people love that. So if Pokemon's smart, I think they'll go ahead and they'll do a I don't know what it'll be, because
Probably,
Evolutions, I think, has some
yeah,
other different cards in there too, but
yeah.
something that would reprint, maybe at least the big three, Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise, and hopefully they'll be smart to print a lot of them, and just, I mean, every company wants more profits, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. I hope it's a new, at least a new reprint. I don't think they'll do another Evolution reprint. I don't. I remember 4 years ago when Evolutions came out. I like think the hype was up for like 6 months, and after 6 months, people were like, "Stop it, stop printing this," and look at it now.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
I, I remember people were just giving me their Charizard, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you guys were in my last stream, I got all those Charizard from Evolution at a Goodwill. They were just donating Charizard, so but surprisingly, while Pokemon judge lawyer went you to write "Don't stop" impressive.
Oh, right, yeah.
Two lawyers in different fields, interesting. Okay, I've never played the game either. Hey, yeah, I don't stress. I could handle the stress of being a judge. Yeah, it's stressful, huh? Being a judge.
It was, but for the most part, at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had more fun judging than I did playing, because it's stressful being a competitor too.
Yeah.
I think my early days of playing, it was really all about just having fun and doing the best you could do, and just meeting new people, and then when you started to form like the group of your locals,
Mm-hmm.
um, there was all this pressure on, like, if you won or even did well at one tournament, you were expected to do that well at another one too. And then when you got to some of the higher up tournaments, and you started to have to really like travel, and pay for hotel costs, just the money that you were putting into travel expenses made it seem like, well, if I'm going to put all this money into it, I better do well and win something. I don't think any of us really expected to be, get first in a lot of these, especially the bigger events. But there was a lot of pressure on, okay, well, I just paid $300 for a weekend at this hotel for regionals.
Oh, I see.
Top 32. Yeah.
I see.
But judging, it was like, well, you do your work. At the end of the day, you're tired, you're a little stressed, you're ready to go home, but you're done. You did a good job, and you got some kind of swag, whether it's like a mat or a box, or of just even a handful of packs or something. And yeah, you had something to show for the day. Whereas if you had a bad competitor day, you were walking out of that place empty handed. Like, was it worth even coming?
That's true.
And the community would come in. Like, there are a lot of awesome people out there, and so hopefully you'd be with a good group that you're like, well, I had a good time, I had a good weekend with these friends, rather than, yeah, I placed in the bottom 25th percentile or something.
But I want them to because they left out a lot of key cards like last. The other trainers, Blastoid, should add rares to the Neo set. Evolutions to me is kind of lazy. That is true. But I think they wanted to do evolutions because um they tried, and I think it worked for a little bit. They tried to bring back
Yeah.
the memories, and I think it worked. It worked for 6 months, and I think people were going back into collecting because I think um, prior to evolutions, they had to do something to retain collectors. That's what I think. That's my own personal opinion. And Evolutions was hyped back then in 2016 for like 6 months. And then they should start doing it for 4 years. And that's why, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people do have a lot of opinions, I will not invest in anything Evolutions. I don't know. I want your opinion on that, Kat, at
Yeah,
all.
I don't. While I would be excited to
Mm-hmm.
see like an original base set reprint,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know if I'd go out and buy any of it. It'd be kind of that thing I would admire from afar, like, oh, that's cool. They made it another. Maybe this time they had a Blastoise or
Yeah.
something, and that would be exciting. But as far as investing in it, um, I would not. I'm not looking forward to like fighting the scalpers at the local Walmart, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth any of that. That's
Yeah.
a lot of. I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of payoff. If Pokemon's smart, if they're gonna print that, they're gonna print a huge amount of it to where scalpers aren't gonna. It's not gonna be worth it for scalpers to consistently get them off the shelves.
Correct. And
I
that's
hope.
how I've always purchased Pokemon cards. I've always been patient. I don't pay anything above a market value, market price. But that's how I've been doing it. I mean, sometimes I get into the hype, but other than that, I tried. And remember when we talked about how to save money? I just go out and buy master sets. And that's what you've been doing as well. I barely open up any packs. And
And the last 4 or 5 years, I think I've just been buying singles and
yeah,
complete sets, master sets if I can, depending
yeah.
on the price. Um, but opening up the packs is a lot of fun, but it's just if you're just trying to complete a set, it's not cost effective.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, guys, I wanted to keep the stream for an hour because Kat was so gracious enough to go on Zoom, and she's a very busy mom. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. And I mean, thank you so much. And she,
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
no, thank you. And we're doing this for you guys know that I love animals, and I did a 501c3 for a cat rescue, Tonks Feline Foster. I'm actually a huge animal lover, and I want to just make the stream. And she graciously agreed to. Um, if you guys have additional, not additional, but if you guys want to donate to an animal rescue, please consider Tonks Feline Foster. I will put in the description their Facebook, their PayPal to donate. They're a cat rescue. They've been helping a lot of cats with kittens, and they are in need of donations. If you guys want, check out their Facebook from adoption to um, just basically cat recovery, but just the recovery for the cats. Let me see. I want okay, but I want them both. They left out. Okay, I said that. Evo's a throwback, so expensive. Both of you consider being a guest in Pokenomics talk for Pokemon Raider. Yes, I invited him today. I invited Jake, but I said he'll try his best to go there. Shiny Shutter in the original art would be awesome with 25th anniversary. Yep. The biggest mistake is sealed Japanese and Korean boxes. I don't collect other languages. Do you? Foreign languages? I mean, certain cards I do, but I don't think I go out of my way to collect them.
Yeah, I don't think like especially with the sealed boxes,
Mm-hmm.
even right now with the whole market being blown up,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the sealed Japanese like I think the original stuff like it's not the same, but the Wizards of the Coast era that
Mm-hmm.
base through I think the Expedition series for Japanese and even I think the EX series. But once it starts getting I think into Diamond and Pearl and up, um, like Diamond and Pearl for English sets, you still have a pretty good value of per sealed box. I don't think it's the same in Japanese, unfortunately.
Have you ever been to a World's Championship? Nope. I don't even know. I don't even play. I don't even know how to play the Pokemon TCG, you guys. I admit it. I don't even know how to play. But yet I've been collecting for 22 years. I have you, Kat?
I went I went to oh what year was it? Was it 2016? maybe that they had worlds in DC, and I'm in North Carolina, so it was only a few hours away, and it was probably the closest that worlds has ever been physically. So didn't have to get on a plane or anything like that. I did attend, um, but I had not earned a world's invite. So I did the last chance qualifier, and I think I lost in the first round. I can't. I may be remembering wrong, but if I didn't lose in the first round, I lost in the second round. I did not make it far. But that weekend, I don't think any of us went expecting to do well competitively. We were just going to have a good time and to
Hmm.
experience worlds. And it was a pretty cool experience.
That's true. I've never been there, never experienced that, but I'm sure it's awesome. I don't think I'll eventually learn, but I don't think I'll ever go to Worlds. Do you think it's hypocritical that people loathe Base 2 but love Legendary Collection even though it's extension of Base 2? I actually don't even like Legendary Collection. I think the reverse hollows are very flashy. And I could be wrong, but I think I could be wrong, but I don't think it was a very popular set when it came out at all. Or Base
No, I
2.
think everyone hated it when it came
Yeah,
out.
that's what. Yeah.
Because they did the packs. So it was something like you were supposed to be able to get like a stack of 5 packs
Mhm.
and essentially build a deck from them, or
Mhm.
something like that. So I remember when I did my big opening, um, like I think I had duplicates within the pack. Like I had multiple Machops, or I had like the Machops and the Machokes, or something
Yeah.
weird like that.
Yeah.
And it was because they were really geared towards competitors and trying to help them out. But they really weren't reprinting a lot of the cards that were being played right at that time. And so I
Mhm.
think the competitors were like, well, what is this? The reverses, for years I said the same thing. They're flashy. If you stare at them too long, they'll make your head hurt. And now that the prices have gone crazy, I'm like, everyone gets so excited when they see a reverse now from Legendary Collection. It's really
Yeah.
interesting how the tides have turned. Oh,
Exactly.
and there goes a box of Lego. Um, but the one reverse set I think is still okay. The non-reverse set I still don't think is really it gets a lot of hype as far as people getting so excited about it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for Kat? I mean, it's such a pleasure speaking with her. And stay on for a bit. I'm gonna do a giveaway after, and I'm gonna switch back to the webcam of my view. So I'm gonna do the giveaway. Do you guys have any other final questions? If not, Kat, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much for having me. If there's no
Kat,
other
I'll
questions.
message you. Okay, wait. Yeah, I'll message you on Facebook, and uh, so got people coming in. All right, Kat. Bye, Alex. Look at her. All right, I'm gonna end the Zoom
Bye.
call.
All right. Bye. Bye. There you go. All right.